right, today we're going to do our telehealth project for a hemiplegic dressing techniques for a client recovering from a left side CVA. I'm Riley and I'm going to be the occupational therapist.
I'm Abby and I'm going to be the occupational therapist assistant.
I'm Kiera and this is going to be our client.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started with just a little questionnaire before we start treatment. And I asked you to get ready some vital signs for us. And so what was the heart rate?
His heart rate was within range. I believe it was about 80 beats per minute. It does increase with some activity, but it stayed within a healthy range.
Okay. And then what about his blood pressure?
His blood pressure has been about 140/90. I do like to keep track of it after activity just to make sure that we're not overexerting.
Of course, okay. And then what about his breathing? What do you notice with that?
His breathing does increase with activity, but that's to be expected. I, once again, just like to keep track of it throughout activity to make sure we're not overexerting and it stays within a healthy range.
Okay. And if you were to guess, what would you say his pain on a scale from 1 to 10 is? 1 being the best and 10 being the worst pain.
I would say he's about a 3 or a 4. He's not experiencing any pain, but he does have some fatigue.
Okay. And then what level of participation has the client been actively participating in their daily activities?
He remains awake and alert for most of his activities, but he still does require max assist for most things.
Okay, and we are going to go over some dressing aids that will help make dressing easier. So you can use a reacher, which can aid in picking up articles of clothing from the ground. A button hook, which can aid in buttoning shirts one-handed. A dressing stick, which can aid in pulling a shirt over your head. A sock aid, which can aid in donning socks. A shoe horn, which can aid in donning shoes with an ankle. And an elastic shoelaces, which makes the process of tying shoes much easier.
Thank you. I'll be looking into some of those. I'm sure he'd appreciate the help.
All right, and then, so now we are going to try a couple things. So what we're going to do today, we are going to try to put on a button-up shirt with using one hand. So do you have your button-up shirt with you?
I do.
Okay. So the first step we have is to use your strong hand and pick up the shirt by the collar and shake it to untwist it.
Once he is more independent, could he do this on his own?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, and then next we're going to spread the shirt out over your lap, and then with the inside facing up and the collar next to your abdomen, and the shirt towel will drape over your knees. All right, and then you're going to pull the sleeve up over your elbow on your weak side. Good, and then you're going to hold the collar tightly and lean forward and bring your strong hand up and take the shirt back around your head.
Put his arm in the wrong sleeve. And then bring it around back, you said?
Yes. And then you're going to use your strong hand and gather the back of the shirt from the tail to the collar in front of your elbow. And then you're going to lift the gathered up shirt and lean forward, and you're going to duck your head and pull your shirt over your head. Okay, and then you're going to line up the shirt front to match up the buttons with the buttonholes, and then you're going to start with the bottom button and work your way up to the top. Good, and you can work with him several times a day to try to get him independently to do that.
Right. Thank you.
So we're going to put on a t-shirt, and then after that we're going to put on pants. And I have a couple of pictures that will help you follow along.
Awesome.
All right, so can you see the picture that I have shown?
Yes.
Okay, so the shaded part on the right side, so you can see the shaded part, that is the weak side of your body.
Okay.
And so we're going to start. So I want you to place the shirt on your lap with the back of the shirt facing up. Okay. And then with your left hand, bunch up one layer on the bottom of the shirt. And then place your right arm in the shirt and pull it up to your bicep. And then do the same for the other side. So put your left arm in the armhole and pull it up to your bicep. Okay, and then you're going to grab the collar of your shirt and pull it over your head. And then you're guys going to pull the back and the front of your shirt down and straighten it out. All right. So then I have another picture, and you can print these out after we finish, and I can email them to you to make it easier.
Thank you. I'd really appreciate that.
All right, so donning pants, you're going to grab your right leg and put it on top of your left knee. And then you're going to put the pant leg on your right leg and pull it over your ankle. And then you're going to put your right leg back on the floor and put your left pant leg on. And then you're going to stand up and pull up your pants. Very nice. Okay. And now we are going to go over some breathing techniques.
Awesome.
So I have 2 breathing techniques, and I will give you the instructions and then I can show you how to do them.
Okay.
So there's pursed lip breathing, and you breathe in through your nose and then breathe out through your mouth with pursed lips, and make the breath out twice as long as whenever you breathed in. So you're going to breathe in through nose, and then with pursed lips, you're going to breathe out and like twice as long.
Got it.
And then square breathing. We're going to begin by slowly exhaling all your air out. And then gently inhale through your nose to a slow count of 4. And then hold at the top of the breath for a count of 4. And then gently exhale through your mouth for a count of 4. Then at the bottom of the breath, pause and hold for the count of 4.
Awesome. Thank you. Are those techniques going to be used for more of a relaxation, or is that more for if he gets winded during activity?
Well, it can be used for both, but for activity, if he gets really fatigued, he can just go sit down and do some breathing techniques to help him relax his body and get more air in him.
Okay, thank you.
All right, and then we're gonna work on some positioning strategies.
Okay.
And since he's mostly gonna be in a chair, that's what we'll focus on today. All right, so you're going to want to have his head over his pelvis
Okay.
and his hips and knees at 90 degrees.
Okay.
There will be a slight extension in the lumbar region.
Got it.
His feet will be in a neutral position and supported. And his weight will be evenly distributed between both buttocks, so just no lopsidedness. Make sure he's always up straight.
No problem.
And his arm should be protracted forward and supported.
And for keeping his arms supported, would you recommend sitting in chairs with arms or using his wheelchair just to make sure the arms are supported?
Yeah, I would. And then that kind of goes into our precautions with his shoulder. You're going to always want to support that right shoulder and never let it dangle. And then also never pull on that right arm in any way.
Okay, for sure.
And then just some helpful tips for you. You want to help the client to pick loose fitting clothing just to ease in dressing. You'll want to address the affected side first. And then avoid dressing the patient if they have the ability to don certain clothing items independently. So just kind of let him do what he can already.
Right.
And then ensure all the clothing is well fitting. So, for example, long pants would be a fall risk for him, and baggy sleeves might knock items over.
Okay.
All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and show you a website that would be beneficial for you. And it has a lot of those dressing aids that we were talking about earlier. And let's see. I'm going to share my screen with you. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So this is a website called Rehab Smart. and it has if you just do a quick search of dressing aid, it shows a lot of those aids that we were talking about earlier, such as the sock aid. Let's see what else. This would be that dressing stick,
Okay.
and a shoehorn. There's a zipper pull and button hook combo. There's just lots of stuff on here that you could look at your leisure. And let's see. Some of this stuff you might be able to make on your own. And
Okay.
if you'd like help with that, we can help you with that as well.
Yeah, that'd be super cost effective for us.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
And then did you have any questions about that?
No, that all sounds great.
Okay. Do you have any other questions for us?
I don't believe so.
Okay. Alrighty, we will see you next time, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.